Hey, it's Paul. I was listening to the album. Good fucking luck. You're on your own.
Guess who's back? Back again. She's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
Hello, this is Lucas Palmeira from Imagine, and I'm here to give you another tutorial on the RC. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make some sounds from the song first single of Eminem's newest album, Houdini. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the keys that sound all together like this. There are 3 patches playing together. Turning off one, and we're gonna start with the low keys that sound like this. And we are going to start by turning off the delay for stereo and Hass effect and opening up the RC. Let's bring back the default patch. And we're gonna drop an octave, raise the second oscillator, drop an octave on the second oscillator, drop the pre-gain a little bit to reduce the saturation of the sound. And now we're gonna drop the cutoff a little bit as well. Next, we drop the envelope generator 2 amount. This is the amount of the envelope generator 2 affecting the cutoff frequency. And now on the first envelope generator that affects the amplitude, we're gonna increase the attack a little bit, drop the decay a little bit, sustain to 0, and drop the release as well a little bit. Next, we're going to increase the sub-oscillator and raise 1 octave. Decay and sustain on the second oscillator at maximum and increase the release a little bit. And now for some reverb, a little bit of amount. We're going to increase a little bit. Actually, we're going to decrease the decay a little bit and increase the modulation. Now for a little bit of chorus, drop the rate a little bit and increase the depth. And we have the patch ready. Let's now turn on the effects, equalizer and stereo Hass effect by delaying the right channel a little bit. Okay, now for the second sound of the keys, which is this higher one, turn off the equalizer, bring back the default patch. We start by changing the first oscillator to a square wave, and since we want to thin the sound on spectrum, we increase the pulse width, and we drop the pre-gain so we don't have too much saturation. Increase the resonance so we have a little bit more high frequencies on the sound. And now we go to the first envelope generator. Increase the attack a tiny bit, decay and sustain at maximum, and drop the release. Next, the patch is ready. We can now turn on the equalizer with a high pass and a little boost on the high frequencies, and the patch is done. Now for the third and last sound of the keys. Let's open up the RC and bring back the default patch. And we start by dropping the pre-gain so we don't have too much saturation while playing chords. Change the first oscillator to a square and increase the pulse width a little bit. Next, we raise this volume on the second oscillator, drop 1 octave and detune it. Increase the resonance for some highs. Next, we increase on the first envelope generator the attack, so the attack isn't that immediate. Decay sustain at maximum and drop the release. Now for some chorus, drop the rate. Increase the depth. And we have our patch ready. Okay, now we have this patch, which is the harpsichord bass. That is also 3 patches. Actually, one is a piano, a grand piano sampler, and 2 DRC patches. So let's start with a high string and turn off this equalizer and bring back the default patch. First thing we do is change the first oscillator to a square wave and increase the pulse width by a lot. Second oscillator, volume maximum, drop 1 octave and change to a square wave. Now we take the second oscillator out, it was just for reference, and bring the ring modulation up. Next, we change the filter mode from a 4-pole to a 2-pole, increase the resonance for highs, and the envelope generator to a mount. Next, on the first envelope generator, drop the sustain, drop the decay a little bit, and increase the release a little bit. Second envelope generator, drop the sustain to 0, increase the release a tiny bit, and the same for the decay. Next, we go to the reverb, give it a little bit of amount, decrease the decay a little bit, and increase the modulation. Next, equalizer with a high pass and a high shelf. Now the bass string, the second patch of the harpsichord bass. Open up the RC, bring back the default patch. Increase the pre-gain a little bit. Drop 1 octave on the first oscillator, raise the second oscillator, drop 1 octave on the second oscillator, and raise the sub-oscillator and increase 1 octave on the second oscillator. Next thing, we drop the cutoff by a lot. And drop the envelope generator to amount a little bit as well. Now we drop the release on the first envelope generator, modulating the amplitude. And we have the patch ready. Okay, now we go to this synth. We have this equalizer, turning it off, bringing back the default patch. And we're gonna start by dropping 1 octave on the first oscillator, raising the volume of the second oscillator, dropping 1 octave, and detuning a little bit. Next, we drop the cutoff filter and raise the envelope generator to amount to maximum. Raise the resonance a tiny bit. Release at 0, and on the second envelope generator, we raise sustain to maximum and increase the attack to 92. Change the performance mode from poly to mono and turn legato on. And we have the patch ready. Time to turn on the equalizer, which has a dip on the mids and another peak on the mids as well, to give it a little bit of more of a nasal sound. And now for this high lead that doubles the chorus, which is very high and very nasal. We have an equalizer with a high pass and some peaks. Let's bring back the default patch. And first thing that we're going to do is change first oscillator to a square and raise the pulse width by a lot. Next, we drop the pre-gain a little bit, increase the resonance a little bit to get more highs. And then we go to the first envelope generator and raise decay sustain to maximum and drop the release. Change the performance mode from poly to mono, turn legato on, raise decay and sustain on the second envelope generator to maximum, and then we turn on some chorus, drop the rate, increase the depth a little bit, and we have our patch ready. Now we turn on the equalizer, and we have our sound ready. Okay, now for the last sound, which are these strings that play very low on the chorus with a high pass and some high shelf on the equalizer. Now let's open DRC and bring back the default patch. And first thing we're going to do is raise 1 octave on the first oscillator, raise the second, and drop 1 octave on the second oscillator and detune it. Raise the sub-oscillator on volume and raise 1 octave as well, and then we drop the pre-gain so we don't have much saturation going on. Next we increase the resonance to increase the highs a little bit. Increase the attack time on the first envelope generator, since we're trying to simulate some strings. Decay and sustain at maximum. Increase the release a little bit. And now we go for some reverb. Increase the amount. Increase the modulation. Control the decay. Turn the chorus on. Drop the rate. Increase the depth a tiny bit. And we have our patch ready. Now we can turn on the equalizer and we have our sound.
Hey, it's Paul. I was listening to the album. Good fucking luck. You're on your own.
Guess who's back? Back again. She's back. Tell her friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
Well, look what the stork brung. Little baby devil with the forked tongue. And it's sticking out, yeah, like a sore thumb. With a forehead that it grew horns from. Still a white jerk. Pulling up in a Chrysler to the cipher with the flex perks and a Bud Light shirt. Lyrical technician, an electrician. Y'all light work. And I don't gotta play pretend. It's you, I make believe. And you know I'm here to stay, cause me. If I was to ever take a leave, it would be aspirin to break your feet. If I was to ask for making the stallion, if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at her feet? I don't know, but I'm glad to be back like
Abracadabra.
And for my last trick,
I'm about to reach in my back, bruh.
like
Abracadabra.
And for my last trick,
Just like that, and I'm back, bruh.
now back in the days of old me, right around the time I became a dope fiend, ate some codeine as a way of coping. Take the vote beat, it's case of OE, turned me into smiley face emoji. My shit may not be age appropriate, but I will hit an 8-year-old in the face with a participation trophy.
Cause I have zero doubts that this whole world's bound to turn into some Girl Scouts and censorship girls out.
Set me down. So when I started this verse, it did start off lighthearted at first, but it feels like I'm targeted. Mind-boggling how my profit is skyrocketed. Look what I pocketed. Yeah, the shit is just like y'all have been, like jogging in. I've been running nothing speeding. That's why I'm ahead like my noggin. I'm the fight y'all get in when you debate who the best, but out some white chalk and win. I step up to that mic cock it then. Oh my god, it's a chicken down again.
Abracadabra.
And for my last trick,
I'm about to reach in my back, bruh.
like
Abracadabra.
and for my last trick,
Just like that, and I'm back, bruh.
break it down.
And this was it, guys. I really hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Remember that we have the Ableton session down below for you to download if you want to check out everything that we did. We have new content coming up every week, so be sure to give us a like and subscribe. That means a lot to us. I will now say goodbye and see you on the next one.